Hello, Saints fans. Just going to give this a pretty quick one today. We were trying to do it earlier this week. Patrick and Chris just had some schedule complications, but we promised you guys a pregame show, so that's what we're going to give you. So they did give me all of their picks and topics for this week's game, so we're going to go through those first. Spend just a couple of minutes talking about the Rams matchup. Obviously, it's not just a big game because, we were wanting to be a Super Bowl team. It's not just a big game because you have 4 playoff teams in the first 4 weeks, and you match up well with this team. You really want to, at minimum, go 2-2. All of that. This is a chance for revenge. It's just plain and simple. It's a chance for revenge for the players. It's a chance for revenge for the fans. It's a chance to embarrass and remind the league that the rightful team that should have gone to the Super Bowl got hosed because of their incompetence. So there's a lot that goes into this game. It's not just as simple as it's week 2, it's against a playoff team, it's against an NFC team, it's a chance to remain at the top of the division, but also make a statement. All of those things are true. But acting like there isn't more than that would be disingenuous, and it would be crazy. So let's go ahead and kick it off. We're just going to start with Chris. So Chris, his "I told you so" moment. He's sticking with his team here. He's got a lot more faith than I have, or at least I've had, and we'll see how it turns out. He says the non-Kamara and can't guard Mike targets are going to continue to step up. We're going to have 2 receivers over 70 yards. I think it's bold, but those guys were probably the biggest reason why we didn't win the game against the Rams. Dan Arnold catches that touchdown. Guys make a play, any play, throughout, a huge part of the middle of that game. The Rams never have a chance to screw over the Saints. The refs never have a chance to screw over the Saints in that call. It goes to overtime where they miss another call. None of that happens if guys other than Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara step up. And the offensive line, there's a lot that get into it. It's been analyzed to death, probably always will be. But it's a great prediction. Hopefully it comes true. He's for real player. Now if he does this, he really will be for real. He's saying Trey Hendrickson is going to continue his sack barrage and he's going to get 2 more. So he's going to have 4 sacks in 2 weeks. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm not even saying it won't happen. But that would be pretty impressive. Who's going to drive him crazy? He thinks it's going to be the run game. He thinks that Todd Gurley's this is going to be his get right game. Malcolm Brown's going to be a problem. They're going to run right at him, which means Demario Davis and the linebackers are going to miss $1.5 billion easy tackles again. The Saints won't be able to stop the run. And, that's going to create a problem. Most important offensive matchup, basically offensive player of the game is going to be Kamara. Defensive player of the game, he's going to have Demario Davis. Big bounce back game for Demario Davis. That's where I'm weirded out, though. It's like he's got the Saints can't stop the run. Demario Davis is going to be the player of the game, so I don't know if he's going to force a couple fumbles, get a couple picks. I don't know what's going on there. Chris, wish you were here. You could have told us. But he's got player of the game is Kamara. Kamara's NFL coming out party was really against the Rams a couple years ago, so they hate him. And of course, having the Saints is winning the game. Going to Patrick's, the "I told you so" moment. Patrick's basically saying, look, Kamara's coming out party was against the Rams. He's cooked them pretty much every time he's gone against them. They can't stop him. I told you they can't stop him. It's done. It's a wrap. He's also going to say that he's for real player. Traquan is going to have a big game. The Rams are going to focus on Michael Thomas. Traquan's going to be the beneficiary of that. He's going to have a big game. I sure would love to see it. I would love to be wrong about him and the second level guys and the third level guys, at the skill positions on this roster. Thing that will drive you crazy. Oh, PJ Williams. And he's probably right. I mean, Cooper Kupp's a hard matchup for anybody in the league. PJ just does not do well with those, those guys that run those super crisp routes and they're really fluid and quick in space. And Cooper could give him some problems. I kind of got to really hope that P-Rob is healthy and man, just hope he gets those spots. Important offensive matchup, no question, and this is going to be mine as well, a little spoiler alert. Interior offensive line versus Donald. I think the Saints' interior offensive line was the reason they lost that NFC Championship game. I mean, the weapons, all the other things, those were all part of it, but just the line was terrible. They couldn't run block, they couldn't really pass protect. Unger got obliterated. I mean, a bunch of guys were hurt. It's not like they're bad players, but a bunch of guys were hurt, but it was no bueno. Defensive matchup, stop and play action. A lot of play action comes from the Rams offense, and guys got to not bite. Don't go for, the deception. Be disciplined. Stay in your spots. Play your positions. You really can't afford to have breakdowns against this team. They've got too many weapons. Player of the game, Eric McCoy, the rookie, on the come up. Fast. Gotta respect it. Eric McCoy, I'm assuming he has Eric McCoy for that. I think his assumption there is Eric McCoy is going to have another huge game. He's going to have a big game against Aaron Donald, help them. Even if you don't neutralize him, minimize his impact on the game. And if he does that, then that's definitely something that's going to help you win. Speaking of winning, Patrick has the Saints winning 27-20. Now just getting into my picks real quick. So my I told you so moment, I'm actually going to say Marcus Davenport is going to have a sack and a half. I think he's definitely still not polished as a pass rusher, but I think his physical tools. I mean, we even saw it last week. Especially you guys all saw Deuce and 500 other people, taking the hot takes and then looking at it and going, Davenport actually had a much better game than people thought he did. There's more than just a spreadsheet. You can't analyze football with a spreadsheet. Spreadsheet might be able to tell you where to look, but it's not going to tell you who did what or how good of a game they had. That's not to say that he had an incredible game. He needs to do a better job of keeping contained. I think that he will do that. I think it'll be in large part due to the fact that I think Jared Goff does not create nearly the pocket problems that Deshaun Watson does. And I think it's a little easier to turn a guy like Davenport loose and go, you know what, you're not a creator this week. Go whip that man's ass. Put your hand right in his chest and send him tumbling backwards and go get the quarterback. I think he's gonna have 1.5 sacks and I think he's gonna shut up, not permanently, but some of the dissatisfaction. He's for real player. I'm gonna say Jared Cook. Here's my, let me put the tinfoil hat on for a moment. Here's my conspiracy theory. I think that, and he has a track record of doing this. I think that Sean Payton intentionally did not focus on Jared Cook for week 1. I think they realized they did not need the packages that they have for Cook to go against Cornell's defense, and they didn't need to force him the ball. And they know the Rams know they can't guard Mike, know they can't guard Kamara, so they're going to put all their attention on those two guys, and Sean is going to turn Jared Cook loose. I'm going to say 8 catches, $150 and 2 touchdowns, something like that. I think the Jared Cook coming out party will be against the Rams, which will be good because I do not think the Jared Cook coming out party will be against the Dallas Cowboys or the Seattle Seahawks. thing that's going to drive me crazy. I'm gonna say the tackling. For whatever reason, this team can't tackle till about week 7, week 8 in a season. I think there's going to be some leaky yardage. I think the Saints are going to by early to mid in the third quarter. I think the Saints are going to be up at least 2 scores, and it might be more than that. And I think that they are going to increase our damn blood pressure against the Rams again. But I'm gonna say the most important matchup for the offensive line is going to be. I'm sorry, the most important matchup for the offense will be the O line. I think the most important defensive matchup. I think it really is going to be PJ. Whoever is the slot. The Rams are in 11. You know, so often they got 3 wide receivers on the field so often. You got to be able to cover that third guy, and you know, I think Lattimore. I don't think Lattimore fears Cooks. I don't think he scares him at all. But I think Kupp could be a problem. And unfortunately, Kupp is really the guy that unlocks their offense. He is Jared Goff's binky. He is his safety blanket. He is his nightlight. And it could be a problem. But that's the matchup that's really I think that's gonna decide the game. And I am gonna say player of the game is gonna be Jared Cook. I mean, the easiest one to say would be Drew Brees, but I think it'll be Jared Cook. And I think the Saints will win. I'm gonna say 33-27. So those are the predictions. Like I said at the beginning, hopefully the guys will be able to make it next week. We just had a scheduling issue, but I didn't want to not deliver the content we promised you guys, even if it did come a day late. So they sent in their stuff. I went and recorded the show. Obviously let us know what you agreed with, what you disagreed with. Hopefully we go into the game being right on the good stuff and wrong on the bad stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be coming back again tomorrow right after the show. So go ahead, right after the game. So go ahead and send in questions, comments, anything like that. You can send it to the Busted Coverage Podcast Twitter account or my account. It is bpavik16. Just at bpavik16. So go ahead and tweet me. Go ahead and tweet the account. You can go ahead. Also, just putting it out there. If you guys don't mind, if anybody's listening to this on the Apple Store, go to the Busted Coverage Saints podcast and please leave us a 5-star review. It helps more people see the show, and that's obviously always appreciated, but of course never required. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hey yo, the Saints is gonna win it.